In the late 18th century, the world was growing fast. Population, trade, and industry all surging in momentum. Yet beneath the optimism of progress, one man saw a shadow forming. Thomas Robert Malthus, born in 1766 to a scholarly English family, was a clergyman with a mathematical mind. He observed that humanity's greatest triumph, its ability to multiply, could also become its undoing. In 1798, he published an essay on the principle of population, a quiet bombshell that shattered Enlightenment confidence. His central thesis was brutally simple. Population grows geometrically, while food supply grows only arithmetically. In plain terms, people multiply faster than resources can sustain them. This imbalance, Malthus argued, condemned society to cycles of abundance and famine, prosperity and collapse. He wrote not as a pessimist, but as a realist, someone trying to map the hard limits of biology onto the optimism of economics. Malthus brought nature back into the discussion of wealth, reminding humankind that progress still bowed to the laws of the earth. Malthus believed population growth was both inevitable and self-correcting. When food and wages rose, families had more children. As population grew, food scarcity returned, wages fell, and poverty spread. These Malthusian cycles would, he argued, persist forever, a natural oscillation between plenty and want. His insight introduced the idea of diminishing returns in human existence. Unlike Ricardo, who saw diminishing returns in soil, Malthus saw it in biology itself. The engine of growth, human reproduction, carried within it the seed of collapse. To him, famine, disease, and war were not anomalies. They were nature's way of rebalancing excess. Malthus believed that without moral restraint, delayed marriage, smaller families, society would forever be pulled back to subsistence. His work was chilling precisely because it replaced divine punishment with natural law, a mechanical check on unchecked desire. In the optimism of early industrial England, most thinkers believed in infinite progress, more machines, more output, more people. Malthus stood apart. He introduced the idea of scarcity as the fundamental constraint of economics. For him, every new acre of farmland, every machine, every policy would eventually meet the wall of finite resources. This perspective seeded a revolution. It reframed economics as the study of constraints rather than expansion. Malthus's work foreshadowed environmental economics, resource depletion theory, and even modern ecological modeling. He saw society as an organism bounded by nature's metabolism, where energy, fertility, and entropy defined the limits of civilization. Ricardo and Smith saw markets as self-correcting. Malthus saw nature as the final arbiter. He was the first economist to introduce biophysical realism, the understanding that no market can escape the boundaries of its material base. Malthus was widely misunderstood and fiercely criticized. Reformers like William Godwin and later Karl Marx accused him of blaming the poor for their suffering. To many, his theory seemed cold, suggesting that starvation was a natural outcome. Yet Malthus was not advocating cruelty. He was describing a system too large for sentiment. His arguments shaped public policy for over a century. They influenced Britain's poor laws, guided colonial administration, and later shaped Darwin's Origin of Species. Darwin admitted that reading Malthus gave him the key idea of natural selection, that species, like societies, grow faster than their resources, and only the fittest survive. In that sense, Malthus transcended economics. He became a natural philosopher of limits, a precursor to ecology and population biology, the man who discovered that competition was nature's arithmetic. 2 centuries later, Malthus's arithmetic still haunts us. From overpopulation fears to climate change, from food scarcity to water wars, his principle of limits remains relevant, though reinterpreted through data and technology. The 20th century saw moments of vindication and refutation. The Green Revolution shattered his pessimism by increasing yields beyond expectation. Yet environmental degradation and resource depletion revived his warnings. Modern economists have coined neo-Malthusian theories, integrating population dynamics with ecological footprints and planetary boundaries. In the 21st century, the Malthusian trap has become a metaphor for any system that grows faster than its foundation, from debt to data storage to energy demand. Malthus taught that every civilization eventually faces a question of balance. How much growth can the world sustain before arithmetic turns against us?